everyone. Welcome to another round of Shina Game Reviews SGR. I've changed my name to Shina. So today we're going to be talking about a few things while looking at the gameplay of Wolfenstein: A New Order. So before I get started, just letting everyone know that I have changed my official name from Young Seven Yang to Shina Game Reviews. Anyway, on to the important stuff. Like me, everyone listening to this video is probably looking forward to E3, which is coming up in the next few days. We're going to have a Nintendo event, PlayStation event, and a Microsoft event. My thoughts and opinions are real simple. I really hope that the games being showed are games that I want to buy, games that show a diversity in the market of games. In other words, I don't want to just see FPS games. I want to see a good round of RPGs, action adventures, puzzles, fighters, stuff like that. Now, a lot of people are excited for Mortal Kombat X, which was just announced through a trailer. And while the trailer did look pretty good, it was all CG. To me, well, how can I put it? CG is for bitches. Sorry. But if you're going to show off a new game, please show the in-game play. This is the best thing you could possibly do. So, having said that, the new Mortal Kombat does look good. Question is will it look realistic like the original 3? Yes, I'm comparing it to the original 3. Because, frankly speaking, while the original 3 Mortal Kombat games were using real people, everything beyond Part 1, 2, and 3 used CG graphics, or not CG, but 3D graphics to render their characters, and it just doesn't look as good. And while the newest one, or the latest one, Mortal Kombat 9, did look good, the characters felt stiff, female models looked way off. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on that, but all you got to do is compare the models from the female models from, let's say, Mortal Kombat 9 to the female models from, say, Soul Calibur 5 or even 4, which is an older version of Soul Calibur. And those games, the character models in those games look amazing. So let's go ahead and move on real quick. I do want to take some time to focus on the big three: Nintendo, PS3, or Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. Focusing first on PlayStation and Microsoft. PlayStation and Microsoft have been a bit of a disappointment since their release in terms of the variety of games available. Most of the games that have come out have been shooters, or a form of a shooter in one form or another. So let's talk about some of the big names that just came out. We have Wolfenstein and Watch Dogs. I'm talking specifically about the PlayStation at the moment. So Wolfenstein itself is available across every single platform, including the Xbox One and even the last-gen consoles, the PlayStation 3 and 360. Wolfenstein looks amazing on the current-gen consoles and the PC. It looks okay. Sorry about that. It looks okay on the older-gen consoles. As far as the game is concerned, if you're an FPS fan, the game's amazing. It mixes a lot of the old with the new. So if you're familiar with Duke Nukem, Doom, even Wolfenstein, Spear of Destiny, and Wolfenstein 3D, the one which started it all, you're going to love Wolfenstein: A New Order. The game definitely takes a lot from the old school. For those of you guys who are young, I'd say in your 20s or younger, you're probably not going to be too familiar with the older Wolfenstein games. One thing I do want to mention before I talk about Watch Dogs is Wolfenstein, even though it's a cross-platform game, is one of the best 3D shooters out there at the moment, one of the best FPS shooters out there at the moment. And I like how it takes the approach of stealth and action. You can use either or. You're given the choice in this game, which is really nice. And you can use both. Sometimes it's better to use one over the other. But the game you're looking at, actually, Wolfenstein, it's showing a bit of both. Right now you're seeing the sneaking around, and basically about to kill people by sneaking up on them. And then you're going to see a bit of action where I just go guns blazing and blowing away Nazis. So moving on, Watch Dogs. Now, this is going to be tough to say. I played Watch Dogs, but not much of it. I've seen a lot of videos on it because I was debating whether or not to put the 60 bones down or even trade the games in just to get my hands on that particular title. and after seeing all the video gameplays of it, after demoing the game, I can say with 100% certainty, not interested. Watch Dogs looks like a big disappointment. From the reviews I've seen, it is a big disappointment. From what I've played of it, it was a disappointment. It felt too much like Grand Theft Auto. And while Grand Theft Auto is not a bad game by any means, actually it's a pretty damn good game. It's just not my type of game. Watch Dogs, let's talk about the graphics for a second. Now, looking at it on the PlayStation 4, it does not look good. It looks worse. Yes, worse than Grand Theft Auto. And Grand Theft Auto looks pretty good for a PlayStation 3 and 360 title. So that says a lot. There is absolutely no reason why Watch Dogs should look worse than Grand Theft Auto on a last-gen console, other than Ubisoft being lazy. I am going to give Watch Dogs a second chance, even though I haven't purchased it yet. I want to wait to see what they're going to do with the Wii U version of the game. Graphics, I'm not expecting too much of an improvement, but hopefully the gameplay takes a huge improvement. If they can port the game over to all three consoles, then there should be no reason why the Wii U version won't look just as good as the PS4 version. I'm sorry, but the PS4 version of the game did not look that good. It looked like maybe a higher res version of the PS3 version, and that's nothing good to say. So let's go ahead and move on a bit. Discuss my dismay with Watch Dogs, and I just want to focus now on the big three in terms of what they're going to be showing at E3. Now, a lot of the main games are being announced. A lot of the main games have been announced. You know, Halo 4. I don't know if it's going to be making a showing. I'm sorry, Halo 5. I don't know if it's going to be making a showing, but the Xbox One certainly needs something that will compel people to want to buy it, because at the moment, even with the price drop coming next week, the system just doesn't seem worth to get at the moment. We've got a few games on the Xbox One. You have Titanfall, which is a great online shooter / mech game, but it doesn't offer much in terms of campaign or single-player content, and that's a huge issue. Looking at the PlayStation 4, on the other hand, we've got quite a few games en route. The game that I'm most anxious to hear about and see is 1886 The Order. Hopefully, that game impresses. I'm really hoping they have a lot of gameplay footage of it, not just in-game, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, scripted. Basically, you know, free to roam, people free to roam, doing what they want in the game, and not scripted events in the next 1886 demo coming up. And I'm hoping that a lot of the games that show aren't just shooters. I want to see RPGs. I want to see strategy games. I'm hoping, really hoping they're going to show off some new fighting games, not just Mortal Kombat. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of games that could be shown at E3 this year, and the PlayStation will benefit big time if they show that variety, because right now it's looking pretty bleak on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. For those of us that did go ahead and purchase the consoles day one or there soon after, you know, there's not a lot for us to play in terms of gameplay variety. A lot of the games that we did play, you know, last between 8 to 12 hours, and they're usually finished soon after that. Unfortunately, your online content does not last forever. Many of the games, and I personally am not an online player, so there's just not that many games that compel me to want to play more. Let's talk about the Nintendo for a second. The Wii U console in particular. Wii U has shown a lot of variety in terms of the games that are currently available on the market, games that are currently, you know, games that will be out soon. And so, in my personal opinion, the Wii U is the king of all systems to own at the moment. I know a lot of people disagree with that because you're thinking PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, graphics, but I'm sorry, graphics don't take the cake when it comes to gameplay and artistic direction. You know, if you do want to use graphics as your reasoning for buying the games that you buy, then just look at Mario Kart 8. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, Mario Kart 8 looks good, but it's not the same type of game. And you're right, it's not the same type of game. But if you look at the amount of detail put into that game, you'll understand right away that the Wii U is a more than capable system. You know, I feel if id or Bethesda wanted to release the newest Wolfenstein game, The New Order, on the Wii U, they could have done it easily. They could have done it in such a way where it would have looked on par with the 360, or not the 360, but the actual PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game. The Wii U is a very capable system graphically. Obviously, you're not going to get as good as graphics as the PS4 system or the Xbox One, but you can get damn close with the Wii U. All you got to do is look at games that are currently on the market. Wonderful 101, the Super Mario 3D World. What's the one one I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. I just mentioned it, Mario Kart 8. These games do show the potential of the system in terms of graphical capabilities and art direction. The Wii U, at this moment in time, has 4 games coming out that I'm truly excited for this year and early next. 3 of which I know the names of, one of which the name is kind of slipping my mind at the moment, but obviously Bayonetta 2, X, which doesn't have a full name yet, but that's the sequel to Xenoblade from last year, and also Super Smash Bros. Coming out in a few days. So anyway, as far as systems are concerned, the one to own at the moment is definitely the Wii U. It would be really nice to see the PlayStation 4, Sony, Xbox One, Microsoft pick up the slack during E3 and show off some really good titles coming out, but they just haven't shown that yet. Now, in terms of digital content available, this is where I feel that all the systems are currently on par with each other. The Wii U does still have the advantage in this area as well, but Sony is quickly catching up. Unfortunately, a lot of Sony's digital releases happen to be on the PlayStation 3 and not the PlayStation 4. I know a game that just came out, which again, I don't remember the name for at the top of my head, 2D over-the-top tactics RPG looks really good. Unfortunately, it's not one of the best systems. Unfortunately, it's not one of the most compelling games out there. Now, having mentioned that, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys, what do you guys think about what's coming for E3? Which systems are you most interested in hearing about? The PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Wii U, or even the PC if you're a PC enthusiast? Let me know what games you're most interested in seeing or most excited for. Me personally, I'm most excited for seeing more about X. I'm hoping, always in my heart, I'm hoping that they say something about a Shenmue 3. I know that's not going to happen, but if it does happen, that would be great. I would also like to see something about Virtual Fighter 6, because I'm really into fighting games, and I'm sorry, but it's been pretty dry of late when it comes to 3D fighters. Soul Calibur's totally gone off the tracks in terms of gameplay, compared to the original, so I'm not really looking forward to that. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the games coming out. Let me know what you think of the games that are currently out. Hell, even let me know what you think of this Wolfenstein game that I'm playing through right now. Rate, comment, subscribe. See you all later, and I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts and opinions. Peace out for now.